Maybe uh, today I will more emphasize about the kinetic theory of gas. Yeah, that uh, very important. Yeah. So the kinetic theory of gas. Okay, we consider that gas in the cube or in the room, yeah, the space. There are three variables associated with gas. Gas we can model it like this. Yeah. So in a gas, three variables associated with a gas is the volume, yeah, and then the pressure, and then temperature. Okay, volume is a result of the freedom of the atoms have to spread in the containers. And the pressure is the result of the collisions of the atoms with the container's wall. And the temperature is the kinetic energy of the atoms. Yeah. So it's related to several uh, conditions. Yeah. So here volume, pressure, and temperature. So the volume is result of the freedom of the atoms. Yeah. Because gas, the bonding of atoms is very low. Yeah. And then temperature is caused by the kinetic energy of the atoms. Yeah. And then we also remember that the amount of molecules or the amount of atoms we can determine by Avogadro's number. Yeah. So in Avogadro numbers, 1 mole is equal to atoms or molecules. Yeah. 1 mole is the number. Yeah. It's the number of atoms in a 12 grams. Yeah. Sample of carbon 12. And then we get the number of Avogadro is 6.02 times 10 minus power 23, yeah, per mole. It means that if we have 1 mole of molecules, yeah, for example, this one is molecules or atoms or combination of atoms, 1 mole, the number of molecule is 6.02 times 10 power 23 per mole, yeah. This one is the number of Avogadro. And then another important quantities, yeah, beside the Avogadro numbers is mole, yeah. Mole is the number of atoms divided to Avogadro's number. Yeah. So this one is number in mole. So N is number of moles, and then N, yeah, capital N is number of molecules. Number of molecules. And Na is Avogadro's number, yeah. Na is Avogadro number. Okay, this is important quantities, yeah. And if we want to measure mole, yeah, beside this equation, we also can use this formula. N is equal to the mass of sample, yeah, divide to mr. Mr is the molar mass, yeah, molar mass or mass of one mole, yeah. So this one is mass of the sample divide to molar mass. Mass of samples, yeah. And then mr is molar of mass, or here is mass of one mole, yeah. Or mr, yeah, we also connected to another formula. Mr is the mass of one molecule times 2 Avogadro number, yeah. This one is also the formula for uh, mr, molar mass, yeah. So this one m is equal to mole mass of one molecule, yeah. Small m is the mass of one molecule. Okay, this one is the relation of Avogadro number, and then molar mass and mass of molecule, and also for mass of sample, yeah. Okay, in ideal gas, yeah, we have already discussed about the ideal gas. The ideal gas, we get the ideal gas law, yeah. The relation of pressure, volume, and temperature. So these properties, volume, pressure, and temperature in ideal gas, the formula is P V is equal to nRT. Yeah, this is the law of ideal gas or ideal gas law. What is the ideal gas? The ideal gas is gas. The density is very low. Yeah, this one is the law of ideal gas or ideal gas law. So ideal gas is the gas density is low. Yeah, and single or mixture of gas is also happen to single or mixture gases. And here in the equation, yeah, P is equal to pressure. P is the pressure. Usually we use Pascal, yeah. And then N is number of moles gas, yeah. This one is the number of moles gas present. And then T is the temperature. And remember that the temperature uh, must be in Kelvin. Kelvin, yeah. So this one in Kelvin or K. and R is the gas constant. Yeah, R is the gas constant. The value of gas constant is 8.31 joule per mole Kelvin. And V is, of course, V is the volume. Yeah. And here, V is the volume. Okay, because N is the number of mole gas present, yeah, we can write this equation to PV. N is equal to the mass of sample divided to MR, yeah. Or we can use N is the Avogadro's relation. It's equal to N divided to Avogadro number and RT, yeah. So we'll get PV is N R divided to Avogadro number and T, yeah. So R divided to Avogadro number is called the uh, Boltzmann constant, yeah. So this one we also can write PV is NKT, yeah. So PV is NKT using capital N here, different with this non-capital N. Non-capital N is number of moles gas present, but capital N is number of gas or the amount of molecules. Yeah. So K here is the Boltzmann constant. You can write that K is 8.31 joule per Kelvin, yeah, or mole Kelvin, divide to the number of Avogadro, 6.02 times 10 23 is equal to 1.38 times 10 minus 23 joule divided to Kelvin, yeah, joule per Kelvin. So this one is the Boltzmann constant, yeah. Okay, we have already discussed about the ideal gas last week. So today I will give the relation about the ideal gas in the other condition of thermodynamics, yeah, like isothermal condition and then isovolume or isochoric condition and adiabatic condition, yeah. So here K is called the Boltzmann constant, yeah. Boltzmann
I
constant.
do. I do.
Okay, any question for the ideal gas? So here is Boltzmann constant. Okay, then we can continue to uh, the work done by an ideal gas in a constant temperature. Yeah. Okay, then continue to work done by ideal gas at constant temperature. Okay, work done by the ideal gas at constant temperature. So in the ideal gas at constant temperature, it means that the T is constant. Yeah. T is constant. It means that T at initial condition same with the final condition. And then by the ideal gas formulation that PV is nRT, yeah, we can say that pressure is nRT divided to volume, yeah, or we can say that nRT 1 divided to V, nRT is because the T is constant, so nRT is a constant, yeah. Can say here is equal to a constant times to 1 per volume, yeah. And then by using that work is integral of P dV, yeah. W is integral P dV. So here we can integrate from initial volume to final volume, yeah. Then we can input that pressure is nRT divided to volume. From initial volume to final volume, nRT divided to volume dV, yeah. So this one is integral of 1 divided to volume dV. We'll get the natural logarithmic, yeah, is nRT and then natural logarithmic of here, yeah, final volume divided to initial volume, because we integrate from uh, initial volume to final volume, yeah. So this work is condition of ideal gas in isothermal process, yeah. This one is the condition of ideal gas in isothermal process. Isothermal is equal to constant temperature, yeah. There is no change in the temperature. It means that final and initial temperature is the same, yeah. Okay. Any question for the work done by isothermal process or constant temperature? Okay, we can write the uh, graphs here, yeah, or the curve. In the vertical is pressure, and then horizontal line is volume. So for isothermal condition, can write like this, for example here, and then here or here, yeah. This one in the different temperature. For example, this one is in 320 Kelvin, and then here is at 300 Kelvin, yeah. And then here for 310 Kelvin. The blue line is at 310 Kelvin, yeah. This is in the initial and final, yeah. For example, for the middle one, we can take the point here. This one is initial point and then final point, yeah, in the same temperature. So the final volume is greater than initial volume, yeah. The greater volume, that the pressure will be lower, yeah. So work done by an ideal gas during isothermal expansion is positive, yeah. And then in the reverse of this condition, for a compression, which is the volume final is less than initial volume, so the ratio of volume is less than 1, yeah. So the value will be negative, or logarithmic, natural logarithmic will be negative. Okay, this one if expansion, yeah, condition in expansion. V final more than V initial. But in compression, that V final is less than initial. Yeah. Okay, this one is the character of curve. It is a thermal process. Yeah, you can get the work done by the isothermal process here is by integrating initial volume to final volume and RT divided to volume dV. Yeah. And then how about the work done by constant volume and constant pressure? Okay, next our discussion is about uh, work done by constant volume. Yeah. So in the constant volume, there is no change in the volume. Yeah. And constant pressure, there is no change in the pressure. Okay, in the constant volume, because the delta V is zero, so the work is zero because there is no change in volume. Yeah. Constant volume process. So the work is zero in this condition is constant volume process. Yeah. But in the constant pressure process, there is no change in pressure. We can write that the W or the work is equal to P times 2 final volume minus final or initial volume. Yeah. So here is delta V. We can write uh, work is P delta V. Yeah. This condition is constant pressure process. Yeah. So W is work, and then the characteristic of constant pressure, the work is zero, and then for the constant volume, the work is zero, but constant pressure, the work is P times 2 delta V. Yeah. The pressure times 2 the difference of volume. Yeah. This one for constant pressure process. Yeah. Okay, we'll try to discuss about the example. Yeah, the problem example here. We have a cylinder contains of 12 liter of oxygen. Yeah. Sample a cylinder contains 12 liter of oxygen at 20 degrees Celsius. Yeah. At 20 degree Celsius, and the pressure is 515 atmosphere. So the pressure uh, 15 atmosphere. And then the temperature is changed to or increase, yeah, to 35 35 degrees Celsius. So the temperature is raised to 35 degrees Celsius, and the volume is reduced. Yeah. And the volume is reduced to 8.5 liter. So what is the final pressure of the gas in atmosphere? Yeah. So the unit of gas is ATM, atmosphere. Yeah. So the question is what is the final pressure? Yeah. Of the gas. Okay, we can write that by using ideal gas formulation. Yeah. That initial pressure times to initial volume equal to NR initial temperature. Yeah. And then we can compare or we can divide to final condition. So this one we can compare to final condition, final pressure, final volume, yeah, and our final temperature. Yeah. Okay. And then because the NR is constant, yeah, so we can cancel this one because the mole of gas is not changed, and then gas constant is also uh, not changed, so we can cancel the symbol. Yeah. And then the question is what is the final pressure? Yeah, final pressure. So by this relation, we can get the final pressure. Yeah, P final is initial pressure times to initial volume. Yeah, and then times to final temperature. Yeah, divide to final volume and initial temperature. Yeah, so you can input the number here. Okay, so the initial pressure is 15 atmosphere. Yeah, and then initial volume is 12 liter, and then the temperature initial is 20 degrees Celsius. Yeah, 20 degrees Celsius, and final temperature is 35, yeah, degrees Celsius. So please remember that in the ideal gas formulation, we need to change the temperature scale to Kelvin. Yeah. So 20 degrees Celsius is equal to 293, yeah, Kelvin. Oh, sorry. Here is not initial pressure, initial temperature, but here is the final temperature. So 308, yeah, divide to the final volume is 8.5 and initial temperature is 293. Yeah. So we'll get the pressure or final pressure in atmosphere. The value is 22, yeah, 22 atm. So this one is the final pressure in atmosphere. Yeah. Okay, any question for uh, the work done by isothermal process, constant volume process, and constant pressure process? Okay. Okay, if there is no question, we will continue to uh, pressure, temperature, and root mean square speed. Yeah, which is we already discussed it last week. Yeah, but here I will emphasize the derivation of the formulation. So can continue to pressure, temperature, and root mean square speed. Yeah. Okay. Uh, we can consider that this condition, yeah, in a box. For example, we have a three-dimensional coordinates, yeah, and then there is box in the these coordinates. Okay. For example, this one is x-axis, y-axis, and z-axis. Yeah. And consider there is a gas inside the room. Yeah. There is one molecule of gas or one atom. Yeah. So you can consider that this one is the mass. It has mass, and then there is the speed. Yeah, or velocity of the gas. And then here is the normal wall. Yeah. For example, the gas will be collide with the wall. You say that normal to set wall. And then the units or the value of cube is L, L and L. So the volume is L power 3. Yeah. And consider there is n moles of an ideal gas be confined in a cubical box of volume V. So we can get that the momentum, yeah, the momentum or delta P, the difference of momentum in X, the we can imagine in the X axis first, yeah. This one is minus m Vx minus m Vx, yeah, because the collision is elastic collision, yeah. So we'll get the delta P or the difference of momentum in x-axis is minus 2m Vx. Yeah. And then from the momentum in the second Newton law, we can calculate the force. Yeah. So force is delta P divided to delta T. Yeah. We take the x-axis first, and then 2m Vx divided to delta T. Yeah. We can ignore the minus sign because minus sign is only for the direction of the momentum. Yeah. Okay, delta t is time because the molecule is travel from L and then back to opposite direction. So we'll get that the delta t is 2L divided to Vx. Yeah. So here 2m Vx divided to 2L divided to Vx. This is time. Yeah. And then is equal to m Vx square divided to 2L. Yeah. And then uh, because pressure is force divided to area, yeah. Pressure is force per area is L square, yeah. Here is m Vx square divided to L square, yeah. So equal to m Vx square divided to L cubic, yeah. Okay, this is only for one molecules or one atom, yeah. One molecule or one atom. And then if there is there are more than one, yeah, of course there is n molecules, yeah. We can say that P, the total pressure is equal to total of force in x axis divided to area. Yeah. So you can write that we can generate this one is mass Vx1 square divided to L cubic or divided to L, yeah. And then we can add the mass divided L, yeah, up to Vx n, yeah, square divided to L. So if x1, x2, and xn is uh, assigned to the first atom, second atom, and n atom, yeah, or n molecule. So we can divide to A. A is the area, is L square. So we can get mass divided to L cubic and times to Vx1 plus Vx2 square until Vxn square, yeah. Or we can write this equation to mass divided to L cubic, and there is N, or N is number of mole, times to Avogadro number, and we can write here is Vx square average, yeah, Vx square average, because N times to Avogadro number is uh, molar mass, yeah. M times to Avogadro number is molar mass, so we can write that N molar mass here, and then Vx square average divide to volume, yeah. This one is the uh, pressure, yeah. This one is the pressure. Okay, and then because the motion of the particle or atoms or molecule not only in x-axis but also in other axis, y and z axis, yeah. So we can write that the velocity square is equal to the velocity in x-axis square plus velocity in y-axis square plus velocity in z-axis square, yeah. So the pressure here can write N times to molar mass times to V square in average divide to 3 volume. Yeah. Why? Because there are three terms here, yeah, or three variables in x-axis, y, and z-axis. Yeah. Okay. V average is a kind of average speed. Yeah. Here is a kind of average speed, or we can call root mean square. Yeah. Root mean square, speed of the molecules. Yeah. Speed of the molecules. Or you can write V square average is VRMS. Yeah. VRMS. So we can write here P is the number of mole. Yeah. Mole times to molar mass, and then VRMS square divided to 3 V. Yeah. And remember that PV is nRT, yeah. So uh, we can write that 3 PV here, 3 nRT is nMR and VRMS square. Yeah. So we move this 3 PV is n mass relative and then VRMS square. Yeah. Can change PV is nRT. Yeah. So here 3 nRT and then n molar mass VRMS square. Yeah. We can cancel n and then we can get that uh, V RMS is equal to 3RT divided to molar mass. Yeah. And then square root of this one. Yeah. And then remember that K is R divided to Avogadro number. Yeah. Uh, and then MR is Avogadro number times 2 mass of the molecules. So this one is equal to 3 uh, RT divided to Avogadro number and mass of molecule. Yeah. R divided to Na is Boltzmann's constant. So the VRMS is 3 kT divided to the mass of molecules. Yeah. Okay, any question? So this one is the formulation for uh, VRMS. Yeah. Root mean square velocity. And then by experiment, we have several data of some RMS speeds at room temperature. Yeah. Okay, by the experiment, we can calculate or we can get the sum RMS speed of molecules at room temperature. Sum RMS speed at room temperature. Room temperature is around 27 degrees Celsius or 300 Kelvin. Yeah. So like hydrogen gas, first one is hydrogen or H2. Yeah. The molar mass is 2. Yeah. This one is molar mass is 2.2, yeah, in grams per mole. Yeah. So the VRMS is around 1020, yeah, in meter per second. And then the other uh, gas like helium, yeah, the molar mass is 4, the velocity is 1370 meter per second, yeah. And the other gas like oxygen, O2, yeah, the molar mass is 32 grams per mole. So the velocity is 483, yeah, 83. Okay, this one is the several example of RMS speed at room temperature. Yeah. Okay, and then we continue to translational kinetic energy. Yeah, translational kinetic energy. So consider a single molecule of an ideal gas as it moves around in the box. Yeah, for example, a single molecule. Yeah, we can calculate the kinetic energy. Average kinetic energy is equal to half mass v square. Yeah, then average, or we can write this one is half mass v square average, because the v square average is equal to RMS speed. Yeah, so we can write this one is v RMS square. Yeah, then we can write that uh, K average half of mass VRMS square is 3 RT divided to molar mass. Yeah, so the kinetic energy is, because mass of the molecules is uh, molecular mass divided to molar mass to Avogadro number. This one is 3 RT divided to molar mass. Yeah, can cancel the molar mass. And then this one is 3 divided to R divided to Avogadro number times 2 temperature. Yeah, K average. And then R divided to Avogadro number is Boltzmann constant. Yeah, so the average of kinetic energy is equal to 3 kT divided to 2. Yeah, yeah, this one is average. So by this equation, it tell us something unexpected. Yeah, because at a given temperature T, yeah, all of ideal gas molecules, no matter what their mass, yeah, have the same average translational kinetic. Yeah, it means that the translational kinetic energy not depend to the mass, but the kinetic energy only depend to the temperature. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Any question for the kinetic energy? Yeah. Okay. If there's no question, uh, we can continue to uh, distribution of molecular speed or main free path. Yeah. But before we start to main free path, maybe we will take a break first, around 5 minutes. Yeah. Break around 5 minutes. Okay. Okay, let's continue. Yeah. So we continue to main free path. Yeah. So we continue to main free path. In the main free path here, you can consider that the molecules or atoms can travel, yeah, through the space. For example, here there is another molecules or another atoms. Yeah. So what is the length of main free path here? So the main free paths will be vary inversely with the density. Yeah, the number of atoms or molecule divided to volume, and then also uh, inversely to the diameter of the molecules. Yeah, the first one is the density and divide to volume. Yeah, the number of molecule divided to volume, and also for the diameter, the diameter of the molecules. Yeah, is d. Yeah, for example, if we have two molecules or two atoms combined, this one has diameter d, another bigger molecule, yeah, so has 2d, yeah. So the main free path, yeah, the main free path is, can say the symbol is lambda, yeah. Lambda is 1 divided to uh, square root of 2 p, yeah, d square times 2 density n per v, yeah. This one is the mean free path of the molecules. Yeah, lambda is mean free path. Yeah, we can consider that the molecules is moving effectively sweeps like a cylindrical length. Yeah. So here is in cylinder. Lambda is the length of path during delta t. Divide to number of collisions in delta t. Yeah. Divide to number of collisions in delta t. Yeah. So length of path during delta t is v times 2 delta t divide to p d square and then v delta t and divide to volume. Yeah. Consider this one is v, this one is speed or velocity, and capital V is volume. Yeah. So it's equal to 1 divided to p d square and per volume. Yeah. So this equation is only approximate because it's based on the assumption. Yeah. The assumption that all the molecules except one are at rest. Okay. Next, we continue to the example of problem, main free path. Yeah. So example, we have a main free path lambda for oxygen molecules. Yeah. Consider that oxygen molecules at the temperature 300 Kelvin. Yeah. At 300 Kelvin, and the pressure. Yeah. The pressure P is 1 atm, and the molecular diameter is 290 picometer. Yeah. And then this one is the ideal gas. What is the mean free path of these molecules? Yeah. So we can calculate the lambda by 1 divided to square root of 2 pi d square, and then n divided to volume. Yeah. So because by the ideal gas PV is nkt, yeah. So we can get the n divided to volume is P divided to kT. Yeah. P divided to kT. So we can write that lambda is 1 divided to square root of 2 PD square, and per V is the pressure divided to kT. Yeah, this one is lambda. Okay, so we can input the number here. This one is kT divided to square root of 2 pi d square and pressure. Yeah, so we'll get lambda. Then K is the Boltzmann constant 1.38. Yeah, times 10 minus 23. The temperature is 300 Kelvin, and divide to square root of 2 P. P is 3.14. Yeah, and then the diameter is 2.9. Yeah, times 10 power minus 10. Yeah, square, and the pressure is 1 atm. 1 atm is 1.01. Yeah, times 10 power 5. So we'll get the mean free path is around 1.1 times 10 minus 7 meter. Yeah. Okay, this one is the first questions. Yeah, we can calculate the mean free path of oxygen molecules at 300 Kelvin, and the pressure is 1 atm, and the diameter of oxygen molecules is 290 picometer. Yeah, and then we can calculate the time. Yeah, average time between successive collisions for any given molecules. Yeah. For example, by in this case, yeah, can continue to second problems. Yeah, we can get the V is 450 meter per second, and then what is the uh, rate? Yeah, times is distance divided to speed. Yeah, so the distance is lambda and the speed is V. We have already get the lambda is 1.1 times 10 minus 7. Yeah, 1.1 10 minus 7 divide 2. The velocity is 450, yeah, meter per second. So we can get the rate, yeah, of the uh, before its collision is 2.44 times 10 minus 10, yeah, second, or equal to around 0.24, yeah, nanosecond. And we can also uh, calculate the frequency, yeah. Frequency is 1 per time, yeah. 1 divided to 2.44 10 minus 10, yeah. So this one is 4.1 times 10 power 9 per second, yeah. So the frequency is around 4 billion collisions per second, yeah. This one is for oxygen molecule, okay. Okay, then we continue to the distribution of molecular speeds, yeah. The distribution of molecular speeds. So in 1852, yeah, Scottish physicist James Clerk Maxwell first solved the problem of finding the speed distribution. Yeah, the speed distribution of a gas molecule. This one is Maxwell's speed distribution law. It's called Maxwell speed distribution law. So by the Maxwell distribution law, uh, the P in V, yeah, this one is probability, yeah, is equal to 4 pi the molecular mass, and then 2 pi RT or 3. And then this one is V square exponential, yeah, minus mv square times 2 RT, yeah. So this one is molar mass or MR, yeah. MR is the molar mass, R is the gas constant, T is the temperature, and V is the molecular speed, yeah. It is this equation that is plot. We can plot these equations, yeah. So we'll get curve. This one is the P, yeah, and this one is speed in meter per second. So we can get that the distribution speed is like this, yeah. Higher temperature will be higher. For example, this one is for T is or lower temperature. I mean that lower temperature, the speed will be lower, yeah. For 80 Kelvin, and then this one for temperature is 300 Kelvin. Yeah. So the most probable here, uh, in 80 Kelvin, this one is around 200 meter per second. And for 300 Kelvin, the most probable is around 400. Yeah. 100 meter per second. So we can get the average velocity here. The V average is the integration of from 0 to infinity. Yeah. V, PV, or and then here is dV. Yeah. And we'll get the V average. The V average is equal to square root of 8 RT divided to PM. Yeah. PMR. This one the average speed. Yeah. So this one is average speed. So we get the average speed. And then for uh, integration of square of average speed, it we will get the RMS. Yeah. Okay. And then we get the most probable speed. Yeah. The most probable speed VP. Yeah. The most probable speed is square root of 2 RT divided to molar mass. This one is most probable speed. Yeah. Okay. This one for most probable speed. Okay, next we continue to the molar specific heats of an ideal gas. Yeah, molar specific heats of ideal gas. So we continue to the next topics. Yeah, the molar specific heat of an ideal gas. Okay, the molar specific heats of an ideal gas. We continue or we start from the internal energy. Yeah, the internal energy we can symbolize as E internal. Yeah. First, we assume that the ideal gas is monoatomic gas or individual atoms rather than molecules. Yeah. Uh, okay. The first is the first assumption is monoatomic gas. Yeah. Monoatomic gas. So monoatomic gas is only one atom, like helium, neon, or argon. Yeah. Example here is helium, neon, argon. Yeah, this one is only one atom or monoatomic gas. And then the next assumption is the internal energy is the sum of the translational kinetics energies. So the next assumption is the internal energy, yeah, is the total of translational kinetic energies. The total translational kinetic energy of atoms, and we can say that internal energy, yeah, is equal to n times to Avogadro number times to k average, yeah. So here is n Avogadro number and k average is 3 divided to kt, yeah. Yeah, because that k is r divided to na, yeah, or k times to na is r, yeah. So we can say that the internal energy, yeah, of monoatomic gas is equal to 3 divided to 2 n RT. Yeah. This one the monoatomic ideal gas. The internal energy of four monoatomic gas. Yeah. This one is internal energy of monoatomic gas. Okay, and then next the molar specific heat at constant volume. Yeah. The next is the molar specific heat at constant volume. So the heat is Q, yeah, is equal to N CV delta T. Yeah. This one is the constant volume. That's CV. Yeah. CV is a constant called molar specific heat at constant volume. Yeah. So this one is CV is molar specific heat at constant volume. And then we remember the first law of thermodynamics that internal energy is uh, heat minus the work. Yeah. So the Q is W plus internal energy. Yeah. Or this one is delta E. So we'll get the delta internal energy is equal to heat minus work. Yeah. So remember, in the constant volume, because this one is the constant volume, W is 0. Yeah. So we can write that internal energy is equal to Q. This one is uh, N CV delta T, yeah, or the Q is the N CV delta T, yeah. So this one is equal to the internal energy, yeah. The difference of internal energy, because the internal energy before that 3 divided to 2 N R delta T, yeah, equal to N CV delta T. So we get that CV, yeah, can divide here. N is also cancelled. CV equal to 3 divided 2 R, yeah. So we can get the value here, the constant volume, yeah. Head specific capacity in constant volume is 12.5, yeah, joule per mole Kelvin. Okay, any question for the constant heat in the or constant specific heat, yeah, as constant volume. The specific heat at constant volume here. Then we continue to molar specific heat at constant pressure. Yeah, molar specific heat at constant pressure. This one is Cp. Yeah, Cp is the molar specific heat at constant pressure. So by the equation that Q, yeah, Q is N Cp delta T. This one is the heat, constant pressure, and then the delta E, internal energy at constant pressure, is Q minus the work. Yeah. So here is N Cp delta T minus P delta V. Yeah. This one is delta internal energy. And then because P delta V is NR delta T, yeah. So we can write that this one N Cp delta T and R delta T, yeah, is the internal energy. Okay, here is N Cv delta T, yeah. This one is N Gp delta T minus NR delta T, yeah. Can divide to N and delta T. So Cv, yeah, is Cp minus R. Or we get a relation that Cp is Cv plus R, yeah. This one is gas constant. So this one is the relation of molar specific heat at constant pressure, molar specific heat at volume, constant volume, and the ideal gas constant. Yeah. Okay, I will give the example of problems. Yeah, example of problems here. For example, a bubble 5 mole of helium. Yeah, so mole 5 moles. Then helium, the gas is helium, monatomic gas, is submerged at a certain depth in liquid water when the water uh, undergoes a temperature increase, delta T. So delta T here is 20 degrees Celsius, and then at constant pressure. Yeah, the condition is constant pressure. So as the result, the bubble expands, the helium is monatomic and ideal gas. And how much energy is added to the helium? As heat during the increase and expansion. Yeah. So we can calculate the heat here, Q, yeah, is N Cp delta T. Yeah. Okay, because Cp is N Cv plus R delta T, and then Cv is 3 divided to R plus R, yeah, delta T. Yeah. So this one is equal to N 5 divided to RT, yeah, R delta T. So we can write or input the number. Heat is N 5 per 2 because the moles of helium gas is 5 moles. And then this one is uh, gas constant is 8.31. Yeah. And the increase of the temperature is 20 degrees Kelvin or 20 degrees Celsius. So the heat here is around 2077. Yeah, 0.5 joule. Or we can simplify at 2080, yeah, joules. And we also calculate the internal energy uh, increment. Yeah. Delta internal energy is 3 divided 2, yeah, and R delta T. Yeah. So this one is 3 divided 2, 5 moles, 8.31. Delta T is 20 degrees Celsius or 20 Kelvin. Yeah. We'll get the internal energy increment is 1246.5 joules. Or we can simplify as 1250 joules. Yeah. And then how much the work? Yeah. Work is P delta V. So P delta V is N R delta T. Yeah. Oh, N is 5 moles. R is 8.31. Delta T is 20. Yeah. So you can calculate the work is 831 joules. Yeah. Okay, we can also calculate the work. Yeah, because Q is W plus delta internal energy. Yeah. Can also calculate that work is the heat minus delta internal energy. Yeah. Or we can write this equation 2077.5 minus 1246.5. Yeah. Is equal to 831 joules. Yeah. Okay. So the same value by using an R delta T or Q minus internal energy increment. Yeah. Okay. Any questions for the molar uh, specific head? Yeah. In the volume and pressure constant? Okay. If there is no questions, we continue to degree of freedom. Yeah. Continue to the degree of freedom of and molar specific heats. Yeah. Okay. For monoatomic molecules, we have already verified the specific heats. Yeah. And then oxygen, like a diatomic molecule containing of two atoms, and then methana or methane, polyatomic molecule. Yeah. Okay. So here we can write that in monoatomic molecule, yeah, like helium, only one atom. But for oxygen, yeah, there are two atoms like this. So it can rotation in this axis or by this axis. Yeah. So more degree of freedom. This one is example of O2, yeah, oxygen. Or another molecules like methane. Yeah. Methane is carbon and then hydrogen. It's more complicated. Yeah. More atom will be more complicated system. So the degree of freedom, yeah, of specific heat here is can write that C, yeah, degree of freedom is F, yeah. F divided to 2 times with R. Okay, so here F is degree of freedom. Okay, for monoatomic gas only has translational, yeah. So the total degree of freedom is 3, but for diatomic molecules like oxygen, translational 3 degree of freedom, rotational 2 degree of freedom, and the total is 5 degree of freedom. But for polyatomic like methane, it has translational degree of freedom 3, and then rotational degree of freedom also 3. Yeah. So the total degree of freedom is 6. Yeah. So we can make a table here. Okay. So the molecule type is monoatomic or diatomic or polyatomic. There is translational and then rotational. Yeah. So the total degree of freedom F. Yeah. For monoatomic molecule, only there are three translational and there is no rotational. Yeah. So the degree of freedom is three, diatomic is three, and then this one is two. Yeah. Rotational degree of freedom total is five. For polyatomic, translational is three axis, rotational is three axis, and this one is six. Yeah. Yeah, this one is for monoatomic, diatomic, and polyatomic. Monoatomic, the example is helium. Yeah. This one is oxygen, O2, and polyatomic, for example, is methane, CH4. Yeah. CH4 like this one is methane. Yeah. Then O2 is oxygen and helium gas. Okay. This one is degree of freedom for uh, translation. So for diatomic gas, yeah, like example is O2, yeah, F. So Cv is 5 divided 2 RT, 5 per 2 R, yeah. Then the Cp for diatomic gas, Cv plus R. So here is 5 divided 2 R plus R become 7 divided 2 R, yeah. This one for diatomic gas. And for polyatomic gas, yeah, this is the third type. This one is the second type. The Cv is 6 divided to 2 R, yeah, or here is 3R. And then the Cp is Cv plus R, 3R plus R. So total is 4, yeah, 4R. This one is for polyatomic gas like methane, yeah. Okay, this one is we, we talk about the degrees of freedom and molar specific, yeah. For helium, this one is the monoatomic. Example of monoatomic is helium. And then oxygen is diatomic gas. And this one is polyatomic, yeah, polyatomic gas. Okay. And this one is the molecule. Monatomic is helium, example. Diatomic is oxygen. And another example for polyatomic gas is methane. Monoatomic gas only has three translational degree of freedom because x-axis, y, and z-axis, but it doesn't has rotational degree of freedom, so the total degree of freedom is three. Yeah. And for diatomic gas, translational degree of freedom is three, and then the rotational axis two degree of freedom, and total is five. And polyatomic total is six. Yeah. Can use this formulation. Yeah, this one is for molar at the constant volume, yeah. Specific heat at constant volume, yeah. Okay, then we continue to adiabatic process, yeah. The adiabatic expansion of an ideal gas. So we continue to the next section. This one is the adiabatic expansion, yeah. Okay, so for the adiabatic, we can write or we can draw the curve, yeah. This one is pressure, and then this one is volume. So remember before we have uh, isothermal, right? Isothermal condition or isotherms. Isotherm is like this. This one is the constant pressure. Yeah. This one is the curve for isotherm condition. But for the adiabatic gas, for the total heat is zero, we can write like this. Okay. The yellow one is for adiabatic. Yeah. Okay, for example, in the isotherm, this one is at 700 Kelvin, and then here is 500 Kelvin, and this one is 300 Kelvin. Yeah, red one is the isotherm, uh, isotherms condition. Yeah, but the adiabatic is in the yellow sign. Yeah, this one is initial and then final. So the sign is to the right. Yeah, it means the expansion because the volume increase, the final volume is larger than initial volume. Yeah. So for adiabatic here in the yellow sign, in adiabatic condition is there is no heat or the Q is zero. Yeah. And we can write that uh, P volume gamma, yeah, power gamma is a constant. Okay, this one is for adiabatic condition. Yeah. Adiabatic process. Okay, this one is the uh, property of adiabatic process. And we can write that uh, initial pressure V initial power gamma, yeah, is equal to P final volume final power gamma. Yeah. This one is adiabatic process because the P is nRT. Yeah, so you can write this one nRT divided to initial volume. Yeah, V initial power gamma. So or here we can write that this one is constant. Yeah. Okay, it's constant, and then we can write that uh, T because in the right side, yeah, V gamma minus 1 is a constant. Yeah. Or we can write that initial temperature, final volume, initial volume, gamma minus 1 is equal to initial or final temperature times to final volume gamma minus 1. Yeah, can write this relation for adiabatic process. Also for this one. Yeah. Okay, we can prove the equation for adiabatic. Yeah. Okay, by the first law of thermodynamics that we can remember. Yeah. Q is internal energy. Yeah. Plus work, or we can write that delta internal energy, yeah, is equal to Q minus work. Or we can write in the infinitesimal form. Yeah, this one is D internal energy is Q minus P dV. Yeah. Okay, we can write that here. Uh, because the Q is 0. Yeah. In adiabatic process, Q is 0. And then the internal energy is N dt and Cv dt, yeah, is equal to minus P dV. And then can write N dt is minus P dV divided to Cv, yeah. Okay, for the ideal gas that uh, PV and RT, yeah, and then here P dV plus V dP, yeah, and R dt. So because that R is Cp minus Cv, yeah, can see that N dt is equal to P dV plus V dP, yeah, divided to Cp min minus Cv, yeah. This one is NDT, yeah. So we can substitute to NDT here. This one is PdV plus VdP equal to Cp minus Cv is equal to minus P Cv dt, yeah. P Cv dV, yeah, not dt, but here is Cv dV. Okay, and then rearrange this one, yeah. We'll get that dP divided to P plus Cp Cv, yeah, dV per V is 0. So we can use the natural logarithmic ln P plus gamma ln V is 0. So here gamma is Gp per Cv, yeah. So this one is not 0, but here is a constant, yeah. And then we can get that this one is PV over to gamma is a constant. Okay, this one is the proof of adiabatic equation. Okay. Yeah. Okay, I think today we have already studied about the or refresh about kinetic theory and gas, the kinetic theory of gas, yeah. And then we study about uh mean free path, yeah, mean free path, and then the prob probability or distribution molecular speeds, yeah. Then next weeks we will continue to the second law of thermodynamics. We will discuss about entropy and heat engine. Okay.